What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Buds, Bros, and Superheroes. This is Nick James here talking to you, and I'm always joined with
Big Body Biggz, the can of Pam.
If you're welcoming back, or if you're coming back, excuse me, welcome back to episode number 11. That's right, one more than 10. How the hell does this keep happening? I feel like every time we go to record, it was like I just got done editing yesterday. We just got done, and now all of a sudden we're sitting here doing it again. Like,
that's okay. This is what I love to do, so it's nothing.
that's maybe why it goes so fast, right?
Absolutely.
Good fucking time. Thanks
Yes,
for coming
sir.
back. If you're coming back, if you're new here, I'm going to quickly explain what's going to go on. Our name is the sections in which we will talk about. So if you came here for Buds, Bros, and Superheroes, we didn't bury the lead, folks. That's exactly what you're going to get. In Buds, we're going to talk about some marijuana stuff. I say it so candidly because the topics that we go through in that one are a little bit rangy. Sometimes, we have a grow master and we'll talk about different things like that. Sometimes we'll pose out questions to our audience, and we're still waiting for some from our previous episode. So if anybody wants to jump on that, let us know why the moon will not harm your plants. That would be appreciated. And that is what we talk about in Buds. In Bros, then it gets a little bit more wide in the topic range. We talk about whatever the fuck we want. This one, we're going to get a little political. I'm not really political, but today as we record, it is the third. We voted. We're going to talk about it a little bit, but it's not going to become like Wolf Blitzer. We're not going to become Fox News, CNN, ABC, nothing like that. But we're just going to talk about it because it's fucking current events, man. Like, it's exactly what's going on today. And
Right
to
now. Finish
off, superheroes. That's right. I've been introducing Mr. Big Body Biggz to more superhero stuff via cinema, and we watched 2004's Hellboy, Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman. Not the reboot. We'll talk about that a little bit, but not too much. But that's what you're in for, folks. So strap on in, because it's about to go down with some buds.
Strap on in and strap on up. Thank you for checking us out. We're 11 episodes in right now, and just stick with us. Thank you for listening, and keep checking us out. Now let's get to it.
And just to kind of top that off, I wouldn't mind being more viewer interactive. So if you have ideas, if you want to tell us what else you'd like us to talk about, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, podcasts are great because they're an idea, and ideas can change. So some of my favorite podcasts, if you listen to now, they're in the 400, 500 area episodes, and they sound nothing like episodes 1 or 11 or even 111. So everything's going to keep going, keep progressing. Eventually, 6, 7, 10 years down the road, Jack, we'll run out of movies.
And then we'll switch it up.
Then we'll go to TV. We were talking about TV
Or
a little
we'll
bit
go to
last
some
time.
of them gangster movies.
That'd be fun.
We could do that too.
They're superheroes in their own right.
No.
Little stretch.
Some may say some are superheroes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we won't get into that right now.
What we will get into, though, I have a question for you. And I was watching, once again, Pineapple Express. So it is a strand of weed, but it's also a comedy starring James Franco and Seth Rogen. I turned it on quite often. I watch it quite a bit. Yeah.
I gotta watch it. I never watched it. One of my friends was telling me, you gotta check it out, and I never did. So I gotta check it out.
No, yeah, it's very funny. I like it a lot. So one of the scenes, I think I even talked about in the previous episode, where James Franco is Seth Rogen's dealer. So the first time we see them together on the same, he's going to buy weed, and James Franco opens up a table, and he's like, oh, I got some of this stuff, I got some of this left, and blah, 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 and he's going through different strand names, and they eventually land on the Pineapple Express, and that's what he buys. So the scene goes on, they're about to smoke, and he gets a ding. He lives in an apartment building, so he gets a little ding buzzer action.
Okay.
And it's another person who wants to come buy weed, and he says, yeah, I'll let you up. And off mic, off the intercom, he says to Seth Rogen, put that shit away, man. This guy doesn't get any of that Pineapple Express. This guy gets the schnikle-fritz. And he pulls out this bag of, like, weed, but it's kind of not the same looking as everything else, and it's in a bigger quantity, so you'd assume, being weed guys, that he bought it for cheaper, and he gets the schnikle-fritz. In other words, he gets the mid-grade or even the low-grade. I just wanted to talk about that, past experiences. We have talked about letting some of that go as we hit the dispensary, but I also kind of want to bring up the past, and I've bought some schnikle-fritz before and been fooled, and just wanted to talk about that. And again, open it up to the public. You want to tell us some of your schnikle-fritz stories, go ahead. I love the word schnikle-fritz, so I'm going to try to say it at least 2 more times. Schnikle-fritz. Go on.
Yeah, you guys won't be hearing me say, what'd you call it? Schnikle-fritz?
Schnikle-fritz.
Nickel-fritz.
Schnikle-fritz.
Schnikle-fritz.
Yeah, he gets the schnikle-fritz.
You got any Schnikle-fritz that I can buy? No. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know.
Because I know for sure that people have gassed me up like, yo, you're going to get some fire, bro. And then all of a sudden I get some brown shit, and I was like, oh, man, they schnikle-fritzed me once again.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. Like, I know we're not buying weed from Walmart and there's no receipt and you can't bring the shit back. But if it's a friend that you're getting it from, like, switch that shit up. Or let me get my money back or half of it or something, because it's not cool. Nobody has money to waste, you know?
Oh, I totally know that. Yeah, no. That's something, I don't know. I've never asked before to switch. I've always been too afraid. Is that a thing?
No, it's
not really.
I mean, most of the time, people aren't going to switch, you know. But if you have a friend, like, they should switch, or you know, it's. I mean, look, you don't want anybody putting a black eye in the game, in any game, whether it's computers, whether it's fucking doctors in the hospital. You don't want some shitty doctor coming along teaching undergrads shitty ways to be a doctor. The same way with this. You don't want your dealer not giving a fuck on what he's selling, telling people that it's King's Kush, telling people it's King's Kush, and it's like some mid-grade garbage with seeds and shit like that. Like,
yeah, no,
do not put a black eye in the game. Like, know what you're selling. If you're gonna be out there selling weed, know what you're selling. Don't do that. Don't be selling that garbage, saying it's fucking Khalifa Kush and OG Kush and cookies, and don't do it.
Yeah, you can sell garbage. Just tell up
Just
front,
keep
yo,
it
this is garbage, and that's why it's so cheap.
Yeah, I'm selling Reggie 100 an ounce or 80 an ounce or whatever you do.
Because at that point, if I were to hear that, I wouldn't be completely turned off by the sale.
Right.
Because with that much quantity, you can make some edibles maybe.
I guess. I wouldn't, but I guess.
You know, if you have 2 pounds of mid-grade, that's still 2 pounds to put into, or not pounds, 2 ounces to put into one batch of cookies. That's got to do something.
Yeah, but 2 ounces of Reggie probably wouldn't be as good as a 1/4 ounce of jet fuel or some real OG Kush or some cookies.
Can you explain your terminology there, Reggie?
Regular weed.
Oh, it's just Reggie.
Like, there's regular, there's mid-grade, then there's high grade, you know?
Okay.
We pretty much always smoke high grade, except for like the last week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we won't get into that.
No, the dispensary drought seems to be coming to an end a little bit. You know, maybe not as much variety. It's kind of like going to a McDonald's right now, and you're like, I want a number 11. It's like, we got numbers 1 through 4 right now.
Yeah.
But it's better than just saying, all we have is frappes. And you're like, the fuck, McDonald's?
Right. No fries. you know? Like, it's weird, but
There's this funny Mitch Hedberg joke, and he's like, I always wanted to open a McDonald's and not participate in anything. Like, at the end of the McDonald's commercial, it's like, at participating locations. He's like, I don't want to participate in anything. You know, have somebody walk in and be like, we got spaghetti and blankets.
And look, I'm going to say one more thing, not to cut off what you were saying or whatever. I want to say, like, if you guys are out there selling weed in parking lots and shit, man, like, knock it off. Just if you're at McDonald's and you're meeting somebody at McDonald's, go into the bathroom. Like, there's no cameras in there. Just give me a little news you can use, because I see a lot of it going on, man. I see a lot of parking lot hustling going on. You know, Turkey Hills, cameras everywhere, and they're car to car. Just yesterday, I saw these dudes. It must have been pills they were buying or Coke or something, because it was something real small. They're in the car, you know what I mean? Leaning in the window, like, transaction. I'm like, damn, right here in the open? Jesus.
Midday?
Not giving a fuck. Yeah, it was like maybe 12, 1, something like that. Right when I took the car, I was telling you I took the car.
Oh, yeah, because your battery died. That sucks.
Yeah, so.
No, you don't got to be sorry. This is the Bud section. I want to continue with that a little bit. Yeah, like, how fucking stupid can you be, guys?
Yeah, there's some real stupid people. And then you wonder why you get locked up or get get a charge for weed because you're out in the fucking parking lot or waiting somewhere you shouldn't be waiting or selling something you shouldn't be selling in the wrong place. Like, there's so many places you can go to sell weed. Why do you have to go to, like, Walmart parking lot when the whole parking lot's lit up by fucking 12 cameras? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
You know?
The bathroom trick, though, I agree with that, but it might be harder in McDonald's. Are they letting people in now?
I don't know. I'm just hypothetically speaking, like, in general, you know what I mean? Like, well, people I know that we all know would just hold their foot to the door because there's no lock on it, you know? But you just hold your foot to the door, do your thing real quick, and you know why you're in there. So, like, step your game up, people.
Yeah, there's no quote-unquote pussyfooting around or anything like that.
No.
Now, let me ask you, too. Once you talked about a guy standing on a corner and you guys recognized each other, not through faces, just like you said, and I'll never forget, sometimes game recognizes game.
Absolutely.
Love that. That's got to also be a T-shirt. But do you see much more of that? Because maybe, again, I'm ignorant, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for, but I feel like the guy on the corner is not around much anymore.
No, he's not. That was out of luck. That doesn't happen every day. You know, that's why I pretty much told the story because I never had that happen before. You know,
what you lost me? Sorry.
The guy with the
on
the corner where I just looked over and he had that look, and I'm looking at him like, yo.
He's looking at you like I sell drugs, and you're looking at him like I buy drugs.
Motherfucking right. Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah, so
we kind of tipped each other off like you. Yep. I swung around the fucking block and he got in the whip, man, and we were cool for like a good week and a half, 2 weeks. Then he moved back to New York, but he was a good dude, man, for that time being. You know, it was cool. You know.
Yeah, but I find that quote unquote guy, girl, whoever, that person just kind of standing around on a corner is not going to happen.
He wasn't on the corner. He was on the porch of a half a double, and he was on the one side leaning on this little stoop type of thing. You know, he was just like posted up.
So that even to further my point of like that what's it called? The stereotypical idea of like, where do you buy drugs? You know, from the guy in the corner, like that's almost gone now, right?
You will get locked up quick.
Yeah, you're getting texts or you're going around different things.
Don't get me wrong. There's areas where there are guys on the corner, but those are the lookouts. You know what I mean? And then you can come through the block and pick up whatever you need. But certain houses are lookouts. Like the street you walk your dog on, there used to be lookouts. And a lot of drugs going on. Now, I don't know who lives there now, but it's just never been the best place to hang out or live. You know? A lot of it's on who rents to who, like these slumlords and shit like that. You know? But we won't get into that.
That street. I think I said I walk my dogs down there every day. And they're also nice to me because they like the dog. Everybody loves King. They look at King,
cool.
The girl dog is a very pretty dog. But you could tell that she's got some mix in her where you look at her and you're like, I don't know what kind of fucking dog that is. Whereas when you look at King, you're like, Jesus Christ, look at that pity.
When I look at her, she's a pit to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think she's a pit.
It's funny because we thought we knew what a pit looked like until we got him.
Yeah, see, he just has such an enormous head. Like, his head is just ridiculously big. So her head's nothing like his. So it would look like she don't have a lot. She might have a touch of something else in her. But his
Weasel.
head, he's just ridiculous.
Yeah. So whenever anybody sees him, usually the first thing is, oh, shit, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that dog.
Yeah.
And they're just like, you breeding him? And I'm like, nah, he's fixed. And they're like, damn, you should be breeding that dog. That's a good-looking dog.
Have
I'm
some
like, I know.
beautiful pups, yeah.
He would.
Yeah. His temperament is awesome. You know, he's just chill, man.
He's a good dog.
Cool dog.
You would think that he himself was a stoner because he's got that mentality. Just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to go with the flow.
And you would also think that he'll fuck some shit up. When you look at him like, yo, that dog, are you sure he don't bite?
Yeah.
He's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, if he wanted to, he could. But he's a good boy. He's not going to do that.
Nah, he's too cool, too laid back, he's just a good dog, man.
He really is.
You know?
So to kind of end up on this section and head over to the bros, let's just recap of definitely, if you're selling, know what you're selling.
Know what you're selling.
And if you don't know what you're selling, that's on you. So if you sell something to somebody and you actually don't know that you're fucking up, it's still on you, but it's not as bad as if you do know and you're trying to like hustle me out of something, or not me. I'm just speaking in general terms.
Yeah, and like in today's day and age, you got people like I was talking about the doctors, bad doctors, good doctors. It's like you got weed out here and you're selling weed and you're telling people it's OG Kush, and then they get some seeds that fall out of it. So now they're going to grow it for themselves. Now they're telling people they're growing OG Kush, and it's some garbage. So don't do that shit, please, people.
It leads to a giant hiccup in the entire
just
system.
a big black guy in the game.
What do you mean by that?
Fuck. What, black guy in the game?
Yeah.
You're watering it down. You're pouring water all over it, and you're just making it fucking whack. You ever like some of these movies that come out, and there's like 3-4 episodes, and there should only, or 3-4 movies of that, like part 1, 2, 3, 4, and there really should only been like 2, like maybe Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. The rest suck to me, if you ask me.
Let's use a more current one of the Fast and the Furious. When should that shit have stopped?
After 1.
The first one, I agree, man. I like that first movie. And contrary to other people, I don't mind Tokyo Drift. I don't mind that they went somewhere else and they're like, let's tell a different story under the same name.
Yeah, so you just don't want people watering it down and making it all fucked up. You want, if there's going to be high grade, you want it to be what it's supposed to be. If it's mids, you want it to be what it's supposed to be. And like you said earlier, if you tell me, oh, I got some regular weed, some Reggie, all right, so I'm expecting that. When I get home, I know it ain't the best. I know I'm going to just smoke a lot of it, but it ain't the best. Don't tell me it's jet fuel or fucking cherry diesel or, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just not cool. Especially in today's day and age with all the new strains. People are crossing all the time. So, like, you could really fuck the game up.
While you were talking, I just thought of a job I want, and that job is to name different strands. Like, they just come up with a new one, and it's just like, Nick, what should we call it? And I'm just like, if it was cherry diesel and banana cookies, let's call this cherry banana. Like, that was a really bad example, but I'd want to sit down and really come up with something fun, because there are some fun fucking names out there.
Well, one day when it's legal, maybe you could start your own growing. You could start germinating and start crossing stuff over one day. You never know.
Dude, I would want to do that not only just to have the weed, but I think the genetics of that, and even just, you're playing God in a little sense of like, I've got this male plant and I've got this female, and let me take this male plant and just kind of shake it on this female and then get the fan going and, creating a crosswind. And even if you're growing inside, like, I decide when the light comes on and I decide when, like, it's all me. I like that. I would like that. I've gotten strangely down into a weird YouTube rabbit hole of fucking terrariums. This guy builds terrariums, and at first I was like, this is a weird little hobby. And then the more he does it, the more I watch him, just like, he controls everything. So I think it's that same kind of mentality of like, I would love to grow weed just so I can cross and be like, this is brand fucking new and it came from me, like you said.
Right. So, yeah,
Let's go, Governor Wolf. Let's go, PA.
Make it legal.
Let's get this legal going. Because even if they were like at your home, you can only grow 10 plants. Is that a lot?
No,
right? Like 10, that's a good sized plant. Whatever. What is it in? I'm going to look it up and maybe we'll have it for next one, or we'll take a pause here. What is it in Cali? Do you know how many you're allowed to? Yeah.
I don't know. See, the guys I know, they grow for people, so they're allowed to grow 99. But to have them in your own house, I'm not sure.
So I'm going to jump over to Oregon, because Oregon at least had something very quickly. So I'm not saying this is going to be for everybody, or if they pass it in PA and you're listening, like, this isn't what it's going to be, but it could be, because in Oregon it's saying no more than 6 mature plants,
which means budded. So you can have probably some veg and buds.
Yes, so you can have no more than 6 mature plants and 12 immature plants.
There you go.
So if you're doing your cycles, you can't get more than that. So at any one time, you can have twice of what the number I just came up with off the top of my head.
And that's cool.
I think that's cool. What the fuck not?
That's cool, because for me, if they gave, like, what they're trying to do in PA right now is have 10 plants per person, right? So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I said 10 just out of my ass, and it happens to be 10?
It's supposed to be 10, yeah.
Fucking A.
So if they let me grow 10, I'm growing 10 for me. I'm growing 10 for my daughter, because I'm going to make sure she fixes her shit to get a card. And that once she gets a card, I could be her caregiver. Then I'd have my girl get her card and
Now you're up to 30.
30
And
for the
same
head,
with my
Jack.
house. Yeah, I could just say, my wife and I needed in blank. Now I'm up to 20.
There it is.
That seems like a lot even. Jeez.
It's not.
Okay.
Well, it is to the person who never grew before, or to the person that never seen a plant before. Because, like, the first time I ever seen a marijuana plant, I was like in heaven. Like, oh my God, look at this fucking beautiful plant. Which was actually, it was 20 plants. But fuck,
It is something to behold.
it is.
I think I've talked about before. I've gone to both California and Colorado. In California, there was this one weed store that we went to, and basically it was the Apple store of weed. It was really posh looking, and it had a lot of clear glass and shit like that. And at one point in the back, you can kind of, not a hallway because that makes it sound like it was closed off, but there was this one area where you can go and stand and look through glass to look at a room. I mean, bigger than what my house is right now.
Yeah,
just full of stuff growing for that dispensary. So that was the closest I've ever seen it. And like you said, I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's beautiful. They're tall as shit sometimes. Like,
yeah, sometimes they're tall, sometimes they're short and fat and thick, just like you women out there, but we won't get into that.
So let's go, Governor Wolf. Let's get some growing here, because that would be great for the channel as well, man. If we can get like a weed docu-series going, that would be wonderful. So let's go, Wolf. Let's see what happens. I'm assuming, kind of to segue into the bros, where again, we warned you, getting a little political. Not too much, Jack, but just a little bit. I think that the results of the next few days will make Wolf's decision either very easy or very difficult. So we'll see what happens with that. But with that, thanks for hanging out with us through that Buds part. And now we're going to shift on over to the bros, where we just loosen it up a little bit again. Today we're going to talk about Election Day, because it is just in fact that. Normally it's a little bit more open and we can act a fool. And we might still, maybe the election talk will talk short. But that's what we're going to be talking about for a little bit. And I'm going to start off with I voted.
And I mailed my vote in about a week and a half ago.
I don't think it's a secret. I am 30 years old. I've had 12 years to exercise this right. Never did it. This was my first time voting, and it wasn't as scary as I thought. So if you're thinking that it's going to be hard or scary, and you're crazy shut-in like me, and new experiences kind of scary, don't worry. You stand in a line. They give you a piece of paper.
See?
It's like a fucking test that you took since the 8th grade. I'm from New Jersey, so for me it was the GEPA. Just make sure your little bubble's filled in correctly, and you're good, Jack. Just scan it on in, and then they give you a sticker.
Oh, that's where you got the little I voted sticker
Hell
from?
yeah.
Okay.
Rocking it hard, too. So my first time ever voting for anything. So I plan to get a little bit more into local politics and vote more for that, but 2020 election, baby. We're going to see what's up.
I just want to know, like, if Trump gets voted out, are there going to be a whole bunch of hillbillies acting up, a whole bunch of people that are just going crazy, a whole bunch of Trump people that were riding around with flags and all this? Are they going to start acting crazy? Are they going to, like, you know what I mean? Because I think more people will be more violent on the Trump side than the Biden side. Like, if Biden loses, it's not going to be like, oh, that's it. I'm putting the ski mask on. We're going. Like, I don't think it's. But on the other hand, these people are going hardcore for this guy, man. Like, hardcore.
It's funny you say that, because all you have to do is just talk to somebody on the other side, like I did. She will remain nameless. But we were talking, and her fear was the opposite of what you just said, in the fact that she feels that Biden supporters, if they lose, will go apeshit.
Nope. It won't.
And, and I think that, that's just, without saying it, you kind of said your side, in which I'm going to kind of agree with, which way this show leans now. Sorry if it's not your way. But yeah, talking to the other side, they fear the same thing. So I don't think anything's going to happen,
We'll see. I mean, it's just weird how they're boarding up all these buildings and they just feel that wave, man. It's
People
like a
are
shitstorm coming, and they could smell it. You know what I mean?
Speaking of which, people are buying the toilet paper again as if it was the beginning of COVID. Like they're flying off the shelf again, thinking that it's going to be a huge civil unrest, one way or the other.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. I just feel something weird.
I just feel like in the future, Election Day and Purge Day are going to coincide soon. Like, you know, because it's kind of looking like that now. You know, we're getting to a point in the voting system where we have to be scared of the results. That's fucked up.
Like, I have a friend who probably once a week been calling me for the last 7-8 weeks. Oh, man, look at this new gun I got, man. Look, man, you got to get ready for this, man. Look, you don't know what's going to happen, bro. You got to have some arms in your crib. You got to be able to protect your family. Every week he's calling me with a new gun. Every week. Sending me pictures. Dual Google, what is it? The dual Google, whatever. When you call people on the video. Dual chat or whatever.
Okay.
He's calling me. It's like FaceTime. But yeah, like showing me all his guns and shit. And I'm like, damn, man, like, you're going a little hard in the paint, like, you know what I mean? Maybe a gun or two, maybe a handgun and a shotgun, but not like this dude's getting like 100 round clips to put in his handgun, and he wants to buy this one gun. It's like you set it down at a slant, and you lay there, and you just. It's like $4,000 for this gun, bro, and it's crazy, like.
Who am I to say how you spend your money? Because I buy Funko Pops, but fuck me, I don't think I'd be throwing that $4,000 for a fucking gun.
No, a gun or two if you need to and you feel comfortable. All right, cool.
I want to get like a rubber bullet gun.
Even something like that will hurt somebody, man.
Hell yeah, if I fucking launch that shit into your cock, if I aim straight for a cock shot and I hit you with a rubber bullet, you're done. You're not like, A, you picked the wrong house to break into because what the fuck are you taking? B, now you're shot in the dick with a rubber bullet. Like, your night was not spent well thinking.
Yeah, like you come in my house, you're going to be like, oh, man, we hit the wrong. This ain't the house you were talking about, man. Where we? You know what I mean? Because there ain't shit in my house you could to steal. Like, what are you going to
Unless
steal?
you're into
like,
Funko Pops. Like, that's the only reason. And even at that, my most expensive one is like $75.
Right.
And I've got a few hundred of them, so pick that one out, Jack. Good luck.
Yeah, you're not even gonna have the chance to take every single one. Like,
and all
it would
my
be
boxes
worthless.
are in separate spots, so you're not even getting full price. Like it's just not a good investment. I could see somebody breaking down my door, looking around and going, "Fuck, should we leave them some money?"
Well, first of all, they're gonna see them two dogs.
That's true.
And that's gonna alter shit real quick.
Because that little one, man, like we're talking about,
she's feisty, man,
and she is the guard dog. She is a very, very good guard dog. Sometimes a little too excessive with the fact of like our front door is very close to the neighbor's driveway. So whenever they get in and out of their car, at least faintly, we hear the doors. And every door, it's a...
yeah, she's on it.
And she's on it. You know, sometimes if we get food delivered, I'll meet the person on the porch and they're like, Jesus. I'm like, yeah, dude, I knew when you were arriving a block away.
Right.
Like, yeah, again, so if somebody's coming to this house, I knew about it probably way too soon. Like, there is no stealth because she's on top of that shit.
Right. Shit. So, yeah, I usually give a shout out, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving a shout out to myself.
Go for it.
I'm giving a shout out to myself. No, I'm just playing. I just want to shout out everybody, man, that's voting for Biden, to be honest with you. We need change. This guy's a clown. That's
Again,
awesome.
yeah, no, you thought we swung one way, and now you understand. We're hanging there. So, yes, I couldn't agree more. I wanted to give a shout-out, if I could. I know it's your thing, but I'd like to talk just
there
one
you
if
go.
I could. I love the show 60 Days In. I got hooked on it hardcore. If you're not familiar, civilians choose to go into jail for 60 days to get information to the warden, to snitch, basically, about how things are going on in the jail. I think it was season 3 and 4. Some guy went in for 120 days because he did so well in his 60 days that they were like, bro, you should stay in, just get deeper and keep giving us information.
Was it a white guy?
Nate, yes.
Like
he was
in the Marine? Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I watched that, yeah.
He took his own life.
What?
Yeah, he shot himself in public, if I'm not mistaken, in the head.
Fuck.
So my shout out is, I know if we were going so high up, like, wow, what is he going to do? My shout out is, dude, if you're thinking about suicide, like, hit me up first. It is a long-term solution to what could be a short-term problem. I don't know. Everything that was going on in his head, he left a long note saying goodbye, and something was going on with a pregnant person, with his unborn child. So I don't know, dude. The whole thing made me so sad. And suicide to me is personal. I know it's a weird thing to say, but like, it's a long-term solution to a short problem. And if I could, like, not saying if I could, I could have talked Nate down, but maybe he was just, I've heard so many stories ever since I was a fucking kid. Those things in school about bullying always stuck with me hard. Where like I always remember that one story of if one person says hi to me today, I won't do it. And they still killed it because you know what I mean. So if you need that one person, if you need that one talk, if even thinking that one person listening can help you, I can be that one person. Buds, Bros, and Superheroes at gmail.com, and let's be friends even. I've said the same thing, kind of sticking in the need help. Like we were talking about addiction and stuff like that. If you need help like that, you just need, if you need anybody to talk to,
holler.
Please.
That means talk to us.
Yeah.
I'll be translating some of these words, people. Don't get, you know what I mean? I'm going to translate a little bit.
I appreciate that. Have you ever seen the commercial where there's a father and a son and they're listening to rap, and all of a sudden the father looks confused, and out of nowhere a guy sits up in the back and he says, well, what this man is trying to express is that if him and his friends have more money than you and your friends, they are superior in a quality much greater than yourself. And I was like, that shit's funny. And yes, that's what you're here to do sometimes, because I didn't know what Reggie was. I did know what holler meant. Holler at your boy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant, though, back in the day with Scrubs. You remember TLC?
Yeah.
I do remember, like, why is he trying to holler at her? Like, if he's trying to get a female's attention, I wouldn't start with a high tone. Why is he hollering? But now I understand that song a little bit more. Speaking of which, let's wrap everything up into one fun circle. They're making TLC Funko Pops, and their chases. So if you're not familiar with Funko Pops, they'll make, like, let's just say for easy numbers, 1,001 figure.
Okay.
And 100 of those figures will be a little bit different. And that's called the chase.
Yeah, what is that about?
It's named that
Purposely?
because that's what people chase after.
Oh, those 100 ones.
Because people want either the special one or to show it. So the one that I usually go to so people understand is I have an Avatar Aang. And when in this show, when you enter the Avatar state, his tattoos and his eyes glow.
Okay.
So there is one that's just normal, and then the chase, the 1/100th, are the glowing one.
Nice.
So the figure itself is exactly the same. The paint is what's different. And sometimes they go bigger or smaller with the chase. That's not what I'm trying to say. But the chases for TLC, because they also sang waterfalls, right?
Right.
They're all clear blue plastic as if they were waterfalls.
Oh, nice.
I thought that
Kinda
was such
how
a
the
nice
video
touch.
was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought that was such a nice touch. So you can get the
I wanna
three
see 'em,
ladies.
yeah.
Regular, but their chases are clear blue like they are in the
Nice.
waterfall, like from the video. I thought that was so fucking cool.
That is cool.
What a nice big circle we made right there. Isn't that fun?
Right?
Because
That's
sometimes I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's like, how did you get here? To where we were talking about in the conversation. I was like, fuck, I don't know. Usually I pride myself on being able to find myself back around, but I was talking about something, and all of a sudden I was talking about Batman's age, and she's like, why are we talking about Batman being 35? And I was like, I don't know. Shit. So I'm very proud of myself. We talked about Funkos, TLC, we got political. We went down on a roller. Like, that was a roller coaster of a time. That was a good time. But we're still in the middle of the bros. So what's up?
I have a question to whoever's listening. If you want to answer, let us know, comment, whatever. But would you rather live in the projects or a trailer park? And I'm not talking about those really nice trailer parks. You know the trailer parks I'm talking about. Like
the one in music?
Yeah, there's two in music, but there's one that's fucked up. Yeah. And there's a couple other ones I know. But I just want to know, like, what would you rather?
I'd have to go trailer park, only because, and maybe I'm mistaken, because I don't really understand what the term the projects mean. But they're not single housings,
no,
right?
It's housing.
That's the only reason I would choose a trailer park, because at least, like, if you're going to my friends or my neighbor's trailer, like, that door is not near mine. we don't share walls, at least. No matter how much smaller the space is, at least like the space and the space around it, I know people won't be up on unless they're coming to see me. Or they shouldn't be up on unless they're coming to see me.
Well, to me, there's different ways you could look at it. Like, for that, you'd have your own space. Quality of your trailer might not be as good, but you'd have your
Agreed.
own. You know, but in the projects, you have more friends. Like, as a kid, I'm talking as a kid right now. You have more friends growing up. You want to me, I don't think people are as nosy in the projects as they are in trailer parks.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but to me, my experiences, you know, in both, I'm going by. So, I don't know. It's weird.
Can I be dead ass with you?
Yeah.
I think, would you say that normally that more black people are in projects, more white people are in trailer parks?
Yeah.
I think it's because it's a big black thing to mind your own fucking business. And I like that. White people are nosy and snoopy, and they'll talk and they'll roll on people, whereas what I've seen in the black community, it's like, mind your own fucking business. You know, my grandmother lived to be 102. Why? She smoked? No, she minded her own goddamn business. Fuck off. Like,
yeah, see, we're okay, so you might be right, you know, but we're nosy too. You know, I'm fucking nosy, you know. I'm nosy to an extent. Like, if something's going on outside, I'll peek around, look, what's going on. All right. Then I'll come back to it. You know what I mean? And maybe look later on. But, like, there's people on my street, man. Like, if the cops came to my house, man, they'd be out there, Jack. They'd be out there like, oh, it finally happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But,
white people, you mean?
Yeah.
And
so, like, I mean.
So maybe nosy wasn't the word I should have used. White people are definitely chattier.
Yeah, like, these are more curious and more, let's see.
I think white people are also more apt to call the goddamn police. And when police come to their house, they're more apt to say, like, I fully believe that white people think that police have absolute power. And that if they say, hey, give me your cell phone, I need to look at that, they'll be like, okay. Whereas other people, other races, especially black people, are like, fuck you, why?
Yeah, I mean, but shit, in today's day and age, you don't know how to act when they pull up on you, man, because you don't know what cop you're getting. You might get a cool cop. You might get a cop who just had an argument with his girl or might have called her fucking somebody or something, and now he comes into work, and now he's taking it out on everybody that he pulls over. And, nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucked up. But back to the whole trailer park thing and the whole project thing. If you can get out of them, man, get out of them. You know what I mean? Don't be punished to the projects or punished to the trailer park. If you could get yourself a nicer home, which a lot of people don't even realize, man, they're paying just as much paying rent and all that than owning your own, you know?
It's the down payment that fucks them. Because even though they can make the monthly payments, because they are making them up, because I would say monthly payments on a house are cheaper than a rent check. But you had to have that down payment. And that's what stops a lot of folks in that situation.
Right. I mean, that's why you see a lot of people coming from like New York and Jersey coming out this way buying homes. It's way more cheaper. And to them, it's like super cheap, actually. If you think about like the apartments in New York City, like my cousin rented, she had her apartment was like $2,100 a month. And, like, she could rent a big house, a solo house by herself for $800 here or $1,000.
And in that apartment in New York, I guarantee she could cook dinner, take a leak, and a nap all at the same time.
And slap 5 cockroaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're small as fuck. Dude, just the tax breaks alone from moving from New Jersey, I could say, personally, is like $12,000 a year compared to like $1,200 a year.
Jesus.
Yeah, man, it's nuts.
Wow.
And we were talking about that, my wife and I. We were just driving around appreciating some nice houses. I went and picked up Funko Pops from Kingston. I got 6 of them for $18, so 3 a pop. I got the new Lady Ghostbusters set along with the Ronin Ghost and the Ghost at the very beginning. So out of the whole set, all I'm missing is Kevin, who was played by Chris Hemsworth in that movie, if you liked it. I obviously did because I went and got those pops. But then we were just driving around and we saw a really nice house for sale, and it was $450. It's like, what the fuck is around here that they're calling for $450,000 goddamn dollars?
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You know, I was explaining, like, shit like that in New Jersey gets like that for houses smaller than mine because where they're located, in 10 minutes, sometimes 20, you could be in New York City.
Right, and that's big to a lot of people.
It's huge to, I mean, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn or using hyperbole in saying that New York City is the mecca of the world right now. Everything that happens kind of goes through New York.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
crazy.
price is worth being there. But $450 to live in fucking Kingston?
Right.
No, thank you. Like, that house better have like a daily blowjob contest where I'm the judge. Like,
Yeah,
built into
every
it.
day, every day, morning and night.
It's so funny. I say really crude interruptions like that, and then I always think, like, fuck, my mom listens to this.
Wait, hold on, because I hold back a lot sometimes because I know your parents are listening.
Oh, don't do
and
that.
I don't want to be
If
disrespectful
I'm not
to
going to
you
do
guys.
that, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I have to do that.
No, they know what a filthy fucking mouth I have.
Yeah,
It's over, Jack. But
There's
that's
a
like the worst thing
difference.
about me.
I know, but there's a difference. There's a difference in having a filthy fucking mouth and real stories.
Sir, I'm almost positive you've said on here that you want to go and fuck a bunch of whores at the house at the bunny
I
ranch.
do.
I know you do, but if you're willing to go there, how much farther are you going to save my parents' ears?
Yeah, no, we're not gonna.
We're not going to test that line yet.
No.
Look for that in episode 100, kids.
Yeah, episode 100. I got you guys. I got you.
Because by then they'll probably tune out too. They're like, fuck it.
But yeah, I want to know, man. Like, have you ever been to a trailer park, like, and hung out in a trailer park?
Never to hung out, no. No,
Never
I've been there
gone.
maybe to pick something up once or twice, or I've gotten lost.
Oh, never to hang out. Nothing
Same
like
thing
that.
for the projects. Like, no.
Never hung out.
No.
No. It's
No,
okay.
I would personally feel nervous going to the projects or a trailer park. Going to any area in which, like, I think what you were saying is definitely a spot on in the fact that both areas know everybody and would know an outsider immediately.
Especially in the in both, because not for nothing, but certain projects around here, if you walked up in them, they'd be like, "Yo," they'd probably be calling each other like, "Yo, watch this dude. He's probably a CI or a detective,
Cop.
straight cop."
Yep. And I don't think I personally give off a cop vibe, but like you said, just looking like me going into a certain project, cop.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on him.
Well, once they talk to you for a minute, they would know that you're not a cop because you don't sound like a cop. You sound like we said, like a radio host. So they'd be like, nah, he's cool, man. Let him ride through, man. He's cool. You know what I mean? But trailer parks, man, I had my couple of experiences hanging out with certain people, you know. And the one house I hung out in, the guy had like Confederate flags in all his windows. So I'm just like, man, yeah, we should just probably just keep this to just let me get my weed and get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean?
I do.
But yeah, so me and my girl, we went down to Danville. We moved to Danville, but before we moved into this apartment, like 2 weeks earlier, we drove up into this trailer park. We didn't know it was a trailer park, and it was fucked up. Like, it was fucked up. It looked like a whole bunch of incest going on. Yeah, it just looked like, I mean, these people were raggedy, rough. I'm not saying I'm any better. It just looked like they were just so run down and they were so segregated and just, it was fucked up. We didn't even go through the whole thing. We just backed out. We were like, oh, whoa. Put that shit in reverse. You know? Yeah. And I'm not scared of nothing. Like, nothing really scares me, but something happening to my kids, knock on wood. But other than that, like, I was like, man, yeah, we shouldn't be here. This isn't good right now, you know?
Yes,
I don't
would
care
say
who
both
you're-
areas.
Yeah, like,
Not
there's
that
certain...
they're all like that, but both of them will produce places where you get that feeling in your asshole of, I probably shouldn't be here.
Look, and I went to Elizabeth, New Jersey. We went to this one project.
Shout out.
We went to this one project, and we were supposed to go to this party, okay? We knew one of the guys that lived in Elizabeth. And it turns out, long story short, these dudes down the other end thought we were out there trying to take over their little spot and area, and were shooting at us. And we ran through the back of the projects and got in our cars and took the fuck off. But, like, even me as a black kid going into other black neighborhoods, it ain't cool. You don't have to be white. You don't have to be Asian or Spanish. Like, if they don't know you, they're not fucking with you.
Shout out 908. sorry, you almost got shot there, but I went to Elizabeth like every week for band practice, so I can very much imagine what you were talking about, like where you're talking about.
Yeah. I just remember it was a bunch of brown brick projects, and there was a little soul food spot right across the street. Yeah.
There was a Crown Fried Chicken down the road from where we'd go to band practice, and to this day, I can smell the inside of it. I could still taste the little box chicken because everything, I don't know if they just sold so much that it was always fresh.
Right.
Or, because we never seem to wait that long
Crown
either.
chicken always has fresh. It's not ever just sitting in a fucking thing, just hanging out.
And even
You're right.
for their French fries as well.
Right.
It is some of the best fast food ever. And again, I don't know if it's because they're just turning it out so much. Or again, I don't think that they make it fresh to order. Because sometimes I've been like, let me get 10 nuggets and a thing of fries. And they're like, boom, there it is.
Bam. I don't know.
Quicker than a fucking Chick-fil-A.
Now you got me in the mood for Crown chicken.
Dude, I'm always in the mood for fried chicken. There is not a bad day for fried chicken in my entire life.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so trailer park or projects?
Let us know in the comments. We definitely want to get some more interaction going. It'd be fun to have the Reasons I'm Broke podcast. Shout out, guys. You guys are great on Instagram, always hitting us up with stuff. With that, we can go into the superheroes, and we can actually talk about them a little bit more. I just want to start this one out with, they left a really funny comment. They were like, Big Body Biggz, you were the chosen one.
I'm still the chosen one. I'm always the chosen one.
But you didn't really dig on The Dark Knight, because you don't really dig on Batman. We know they were just playing. We fucking loved it. I thought it was hysterical. I liked it right away.
Yeah, that's
And I
cool.
also commented back saying, I didn't see you not liking that movie coming, and at least it's going to keep shit fresh. But we definitely like the interaction with that. We know Scotty over on YouTube is always hitting us up too. Always giving the shout outs to people. So if you want your shout out, just hit us up. And like I said, let's get a conversation going with that of being, would you rather live in a trailer park or a project?
That's it.
But for this week's superhero, I think we talked about it, maybe 2004's Hellboy. So right off the top, sir, it's your opinion that matters, because I've already called this a masterpiece. What did you think of Hellboy?
First off, I'll say out of a 1 to 10, probably give it a 6, 7 right in there. I mean, it was decent. I didn't not like it. It was cool. It was interesting. I don't think he was a superhero like I was saying. I don't think he's like Superman or Batman as far as like trying to save everybody or like flying around doing different stuff, because he couldn't fly and he just was pretty much messing with those alien type things with the friggin' dreadlock looking.
Yeah, I think they were demons.
Demons, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. That's actually all real. There is a lot of CGI in that, but a lot of what you're seeing with that monster is puppeteering and guys in suits and animatronics to make the little, what you were calling dreadlocks, like move and shit. And I find that so impressive that was practically built. When they're falling down an elevator shaft and you see them, that's CGI. But a lot of things that you were seeing was guys just in rubber monster suits fighting.
So I'm watching the movie, right? And there's a lady in the movie. I don't know her name in the movie. She just has blonde hair, and she's like one of the villain type, one of the bad guys. And she looks just like one of my ex-girlfriends.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, but like one that my girl really doesn't like.
Did she see him? And she was like, God damn it.
She like left the room right before she really started playing her part in the movie. And I'm looking and I'm like, holy fuck, she looks just like her. You know what I mean?
Was her name Biddy Hodson?
No, it was Beth. Beth.
Wow. Yeah, Biddy
Close.
Hodson was the actress's name, and she played Ilsa Hopstein.
Yeah, and I don't know. I was like, look, like
funny.
it could have been weird. You know what I mean?
Well, she was definitely modeled to look like Ava Braun a little bit, if you ask me.
Okay.
Let's go through the cast really quick. So we had Ron Perlman as Hellboy. We had Doug Jones, or Dougie Jones, as Abe Sapien. Selma Blair as Liz Sherman. John Hurt as Trevor Broom, Professor Broom. And Rupert Evans as John Myers. Obviously, that's not the whole cast, but those are the main players on the board. What did you think of all of them? Let's start off with Hellboy himself, with Ron Perlman himself. How did you like him and his portrayal?
Well, it's the first time I watched Hellboy. I know there's a couple Hellboys, so He was cool. I thought I thought he was acting right. Like his acting wasn't shitty, and he was on point. You know, yeah, he was cool.
Doug Jones as Abe Sapien, the guy with the webbed hands.
I liked him.
He was cool.
Yeah,
I thought
liked
he did
him.
a great job.
So what? He had to like stay in the water to stay saturated. He couldn't be out for too long, right? Yeah, he was pretty cool though.
So I love the suit they made him for the little apparatus to go around his gills and for him to walk around in the real world and stuff like that. Not the real world, but the dry world.
Right. The dry world. Absolutely.
And also, huge shout out to Doug Jones. If you've ever seen a man in a monster suit, it's probably Doug Jones. We'll eventually talk about when we're going to watch Hellboy 2, but not only does he reprise his role, he plays another guy. If you've seen any other Guillermo del Toro work, I'm more talking to the listeners because I know you haven't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth he's in. And recently, if you've been paying attention to any amount of media, especially around this time, guys, you've been seeing more than enough Hocus Pocus. And he plays Billy the zombie in that. And recently put the makeup back on after like 25 years of doing it. He just posted on his Instagram. He shaves his head voluntarily. Rather than going through the process of having to put on a bald cap every time, he shaves his head voluntarily because he's on that new Star Trek Discovery. He's a main character in that who is, of course, makeup up. So I love Doug Jones as a person, as an actor, as a makeup person, and as Abe Sapien. Liked it.
Maybe next episode we'll talk about all the different characters he played.
Jeez, yeah, we could talk about that forever. Because he was
That
recently...
many?
Oh, yeah. And even recently, I don't know if he won the Academy Award or if just the movie itself, The Shape of Water, where he basically looks like Abe Sapien again. It's like a deaf, mute girl meets a fish man, and they fuck. That was probably the worst way to describe that movie, but he's in that as well, dressed up kind of like that. Oh, yeah, he does a lot.
And so back to Hellboy. What was the girl's name again? The girl,
Liz Sherman, who was played by Selma Blair.
the girl with the fucking
Yeah, what is this with you?
the girl with the fucking herpes on her lip.
I'm looking at her again, and I'm telling you, I think it's just the way the white bounces off that one area.
Nah.
Maybe her lips are always just glossy or something.
Nah. You got to watch the movie again.
All right.
Just zoom through it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And just, you'll see, man. Something.
To be honest, yeah, I can see it a little bit there. At the bottom there?
Yeah, right in the middle.
All right, we'll look it out. But I liked her in this movie. I don't really generally like her. She's very monotoned, but I didn't mind her in this. I thought she was pretty okay.
Yeah, she's not the typical real pretty girl like the, you know what I mean? She had like a girl next door type of look. Like she didn't have too much going on. She wasn't high maintenance type of chick in the movies. She did have something on her fucking lip. I don't know what that was, but maybe it's a mole or something. I don't know. Whatever.
But I would definitely love that power.
Yeah, she was
Burst out
cool.
into
She
fucking
was
flames.
cool.
Like, that's cool.
And like I almost forgot she had those powers until the end. Do you know what I mean?
When she was like, slap me.
Slap me. I would have.
Oh, all right,
You
you
want me
said
to
it.
slap? Okay, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
You just knock her out, and all of a sudden your human bomb is gone, and you're like,
And then
fuck,
she's
maybe I
fucking
should
you
have just
up.
tapped her. Yeah.
Yeah, no. We don't want to get But she was cool. you
Great
know?
character.
Yeah.
And in this movie, which I think is so important, they had a great villain. I think that the bouncing off of going
He was
between Rasputin and
He was
all
cool.
of them, like, that was really great. We already kind of brought up a little bit of Biddy Hodson, who played Isla Hupstein, who was like, I don't want to say the girl villain, but if you haven't seen the movie or you don't know the characters' names, it's the girl villain. But we were talking about, too, one of the most badass, Carl Cronin in the movie. It's the guy with the sand for blood. How great was he? Dude?
Yeah, he was cool.
Badass. They really expanded that character from the book to the movie. Like, he
Oh,
was
he
there and
wasn't-
stuff.
he
He was
wasn't-
there. He was in the mask. I don't think they gave you as much of, like, the surgical background, because that scene, too, where he's in the morgue and, like, he ain't got eyelids or lips or shit like that.
right.
Fucking creepy shit.
Yeah, his eyes were all out and shit, all weird. Yeah, it was weird.
So, yeah, he keeps himself hermetically sealed inside there because he's a germaphobe.
Yeah,
And then he goes through so many different surgical procedures and shit like that. Like, I love that he is so good with a sword. He can bounce bullets back. Because that's gangster.
But one part I really didn't like about the movie was that stupid skeleton dude they had dug up out the ground. The dude with the goatee, you know, like had him on his back. He's like, he doesn't even have half his spine.
I'm sorry, I was looking for it, but I used to have a small book, and that image is taken like right from the comics.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I thought it was funny, and it's not the MCU haha take a fucking joke funny. It's literally funny where he's like, "Screw you, red ape or red monkey or whatever he called them at one point." I was like, "That's fucking funny." Like it's not bad. And then like he ends up getting thrown down a shaft or falling off a bridge. And he's like, "I can't believe I woke up for this shit," or something like that.
I was like,
it was the perfect amount of funny if you ask me.
I mean, it was cool.
Creepy
they could have
though,
did, they could have did without him.
I
They
understand.
didn't, But the movie was good though. It was cool.
I think that was definitely some fan service because again, it's if you've ever seen the cover or looked inside, I believe you can find that image almost quickly.
And if I got to be honest, I like that character with the sword so much that I would have rather have seen him fight him like in a real big scene at the very end instead of that big alien, whatever the hell that thing was.
The tentacle monster at the very end, the seventh god of apocalypse.
Like it would have
been
been. You know how like in old kung fu movies where they have like the two masters fighting at the end for like 15 minutes, just
like a Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris going at it,
type shit like that. Yeah, it would have been cool because that guy in that movie in Hellboy, he had skills. Like his skills were nice. If you watch how he moved and shit, he was nice.
Deflecting bullets with swords is pretty crazy. I don't know where I land on the fence with it because at the end of the day, without Jeffrey Tambor, who plays Tom Manning, the director of the BPRD or the director of something in which he feels he has the power to yell at these people, he's like throwing gears at them, and it's kind of a team up that this badass character who's like taking down guards, deflected bullets, gets taken out by somebody throwing a gear at his head, and then like that allows Hellboy the time to wrap something around his neck and impale him and then throw a gear on him. Thinking about it, what you just said, I've never thought about it that way, but it was kind of all right, now he's out of the way, let's get to the monster. And yeah, that would have been cool to have them like really go at it.
Yeah, like really go at it.
So everything that you're saying about this, I'm going to stop bearing the lead for the listeners. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
First time ever, guys, we're doing the sequel back to back. So we will be watching Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and at the end of that, you won't be disappointed. How about that? Okay.
Don't give me a spoiler.
I was about to say the word, and then I was like, fuck, he hates when I say that. But that movie, yeah, I mean, everything you're talking about, like, yeah, we saw a little bit of, like, it's not just him going out and fighting villain of the day and saving the world. He's kind of in his own world, secretly taking care of shit before the public can know. Because I love that quote by Professor Broom, like, there are things that go bump in the night, and we are the things that bump back.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. Because I fully believe if it's not entirely called the BPRD, the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense, that there is a branch like that in the military in the United States. So a BPRD or a Men in Black, or there are a group of people who know there is unexplainable type shit going on out there that if the public knew, we'd blow our own brains out.
Crazy. A lot of crazy shit we don't know about.
Oh, yeah. So I like that they set that up. And, yeah, it does seem, for as crazy fanciful as it is, it does seem real in the fact that, like, it's its own world. So, again, I'm not going to spoil, but I will say that idea is not only further delved into, it's fully explored, and it's done beautifully. Because, again, we're going to get the amazing direction of Guillermo del Toro.
Well, I'm on the other end of it, so I'm going to check it out. I'm looking forward to it. But don't be surprised if I don't like it, because I'm not always going to like it.
You didn't like The Dark Knight. I'm not going to be surprised if you don't like anything ever again. Like, I can't believe that you didn't like The Dark
you were
Knight.
looking at me weird as hell. You're like, what? Really?
Yeah.
It'd probably be like if you said to me you didn't like Boardwalk Empire or Once Upon a Time in America. I'd be like, what the fuck is he talking about? That's one of the greatest gangster movies ever. So I could see how you looked at me a little weird. It's your favorite character. You got sweatshirts and figurines and tattoos, and
I do go pretty far on the bat.
Yeah. So no disrespect, but
I also kind of want to get a separate thank you for kind of building me on this tangent to also help with some viewer interaction. How old do you think Batman is? How old is your perfect Batman? Because I just watched the whole thing today. I've really gone down. I really enjoy this channel that I got on top of. Does all DC animated stuff. Watchtower. Something Watchtower. I'll put the link down below or something. But they're awesome, and they just went through this whole thing where they broke down the entire timeline of how old Batman was during the DC animated. And I just want other people.
Do you know how old he's supposed to? Like, is he supposed to be a different age in all the different movies?
So this is going to lead us down a rabbit trail. Let's not talk about it too long, because I could go forever about this, because I just learned so much about it too. Bruce Timm, for all intents and purposes, and some people might say Paul Dini, but in my head, Bruce Timm is the god of the DC animated world. He is the one who controls and sees for it and made it so it is that the way it is. And Paul Dini was there. There's a lot of people there. Andrea Romano. There was a lot of people there. But in my head, if Bruce Timm says it about the Bruce Timmverse, the DC animated universe, it is law. And he says that Batman's 35. Always.
I was going to say.
He's always 35, and try not thinking about time in this universe like time, because we don't go with the way time works. Which is an annoying answer, because time is one of the only things as human beings we all understand. You know, we all have one day. We all have 24 hours, or however you want to break it up. There is no person who doesn't have a day. So for us to go, what do you mean he doesn't get old? How is he always 35 when...
Right, it's weird.
So in my head, my perfect Batman is always 35. But, you know, they went through it. And then, of course, in that universe, we have Batman Beyond, where Bruce Wayne is an old man, so he's 70. So obviously he has to age somewhere.
Right.
So they went through the whole thing. Again, it's the Watchtower database. That's where it is. That's the name. It was a fun video. Check that out. But it had me on a little tangent as we were just talking about Batman. Like, you out there, faithful listener, how old is your perfect Batman? Wow, what a weird tangent. Let's go back to Hellboy, because we are going to be watching the second one, The Golden Army. It's going to be a good time. I highly suggest everybody come back for that. Because, again, this is a Buds, Bros, and Superheroes historic moment of a sense of we're going into a sequel. We've already watched the sequel, but we didn't watch the first one. So this is new and exciting.
Yes, the first
dose
time.
of Hellboy.
And we will see. You know, we'll see how it ends up. I'm going to watch it, and hopefully it'll be good like the first one. You know, I hope that character I like in it is back in it in a big way. You know, that'll be cool. The guy with the swords, you know. Is he in it? He's not in the second one? No. Really?
No, we more or less saw him died. Yeah, I mean, how is he supposed to get out of the pit?
It just would have been cool to see him again.
No.
He was tight.
Where I think even though we are led to believe he can't die, that he's at least stuck there.
Well,
impaled in many places with a giant gear on top of him. So if not dead, he's literally just laying there going, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't get out.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Abe Sapien's in it. The blue guy, and we got Hellboy.
Yeah, he's cool. The blue guy. The alien. Looked like a fucking gray alien. You know, with web hands. He's cool, though.
Would you sacrifice looking like that if you could be telepathic? So, like, yeah, you got to look like a fish man, but you can read my thoughts. Is it worth it?
If there were other female aliens like me that I could hang out with here and there, I wouldn't want to just be the only one in the world like that. You know, maybe have a little couple siblings or kids and stuff like that. Like, you know, but I wouldn't. No.
Thank you. Yeah, no. That's what the question is. You will be the sole and only person to be able to read minds, but at the same time, you'll have to look like a fish person.
Because I don't really care what people think. So I could care less to be telepathically knowing what you're thinking, you know?
That's a good point. I wouldn't mind being a fish person, though. I wouldn't mind breathing underwater. I'm both so afraid of the ocean and yet so curious that, like, I feel like I'd want to swim around and check shit out, but at the same time, like, Jaws are right behind me. And not, like, only a shark, but everything in the ocean wants to eat everything else. It's fucking crazy in there.
Have a whale come up behind you, you'd be like a little snack, you know?
Boom, done.
Yeah.
Or like a fucking squid. It's got all those tentacles. You're not getting away from that. And all of a sudden, it's just a beak just coming at you. Fuck that noise.
No.
Well, thank you for coming with us down Tangentville as we finish up this episode of Buds, Bros, and Superheroes. We hope you had a good time. If you're watching us on YouTube, throw us a like. If you really liked it, please fucking subscribe. If you're on one of the various podcatchers, leave a comment, review it, do whatever you can, because the way that podcasts get around are word of mouth. So at the very least, if you just want to walk up to a super cool guy and go, yo, listen to this podcast, that would fucking help us out. And we'd give you a pat on the back, gold star. Thanks very much.
And yes, we just finished. Well, we're about to get our little characters. You want to talk about that real quick?
Real quick, yeah, Dropper, a.k.a. the artist who's doing our poster, has finished. The reveal is coming very soon. In fact, you might get it dropped before this episode does. It might be old news by then. I'm not sure, because if you listen to last episode, you know I'm like a little kid on Christmas, and I just want to fucking show people immediately. But if not, if you did wait, maybe we'll wait to drop it on that day, so it's a big spectacular. I can wait a week. I can wait till Friday.
You sure?
No, but I'll try. With that, guys, I have been Nick James.
This is Big Body Biggz, and thank you for checking us out again.
Buds, Bros, and Superheroes are out of here.
Peace. Rah.